This is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee, and welcome to this card making tutorial. I hope this finds you well. This is the lovely card we're making today, and it features the Layers of Beauty stamp die and matching stencils or masks. And these are layering stencils, and they make for super easy colouring, as I'm going to show you. I have people asking all the time how to use these stencils, so I thought I would revisit today and show you how to use layering stencils, or at least to use Stampin' Up's layering stencils. We've got quite a variety now. We've got quite a few different stamps and stencil bundles, so I thought it was a good time to have another tutorial and show you how to use layering stencils. Okay, so I have my stamp set up in my stamping tool, and I'm sorry about the glare. Let me try and move this a bit out the way. It's not really working, but anyway, this is the stamp set, Layers of Beauty, and it's glaring as well. And we're going to just use this big floral image here, and I've got this set up in my stamping tool. So let's give this a really good ink up. And I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black, so I can get a nice crisp outline. So let's put the lid down and give it a really good press. It's a really big stamp, but I'll stamp well. Let's just give it a second ink up just for luck. And then give this a good press down. Lovely. Take that out of the stamping tool. And then I am going to clean up as I go along. As you know, I'm a great believer in doing this. It saves a lot of time and energy later on. So just using my simple chamois. Sorry about the squeakies. And I know it looks heavily stained, but it does work still. And you just wash it under the tap or throw it in the washing machine, and it's good to go again. And I think I've only had about 2 or 3 different, maybe 2 different chamois since they came out, however many years ago that was. I can't remember, it's so many years ago. They last forever. They're really good. Okay, so there is our stamped image. I'm going to bring in my stencils. Now I haven't cleaned them from last time, which was naughty of me. But not that it matters. These clean up beautifully, even if the ink layer lies on them for a while. You don't need to worry. You only really need to worry if you're going to be using paste. Now our stencils are all labelled, so I'm going to go through these so you can see here they're labelled here in the corner. So this is number 2, and that's number 1, that's number 3, and let's see, and this is number 4, and this is number 5. So it's really easy to know which order to use them in. They all have a notch here at the top, if you can see. There you go, you can see this notch, and this is going to be very useful in lining up our images up. So I'm just going to take this, and if you don't succeed, just keep moving your stencil around until it fits snugly over the image, and you can see it there fitting just within those black outlines. And there we go, look at that, fits beautifully. Now to hold that in place, I'm going to use some post-it note tape. So I'm going to put some down there, and some more here. And I'm also going to use some to hold my paper in place as well, so that it won't move. And I just reuse and reuse this tape. I just have it here next door to me. I reuse it until there's nothing left of it, so it gets well used. Now you'll see I told you about that notch. Our notch is here, and I'm just going to use my pencil to make a mark following the line of that notch, and that's going to help us line everything up really easily next time over. Now in my first card I used Petal Pink, Pretty in Pink, and then Lemon Lime Twist and Granny Apple Green, and for this I used a little bit of Balmy Blue for the other flowers. I'm going to change it up slightly. We're going to go for just blues this time. So I'm going to, these are the colours I used before, Petal Pink, Pretty and Pink. This time I'm going to go for these colours here. And I've got 3 different colours. So I'm going to start off with some Pool Party. And I'm just going to take a blending tool. And I don't have a separate blending tool for each colour. I just have one for each colour family. So I have for the blues, for the greens, for the reds, etc. And these also just wash up really nicely. So I'm just going in with my blending tool. And I know you don't really get very easily true blue flowers in reality, but I'm going to claim artistic license here. I mean, you do get some true blue, but not a lot, and certainly not like this. Not very often anyway, but as I said, artistic license. So that's my first layer. It looks lovely. So second layer is going to be Balmy Blue. So I'm going to remove my stencil, leaving my paper in place. Okay. And now I'm going to look for that notch, and I'm going to line my notch up, and then automatically you can see here we're very close to having everything lined up absolutely perfectly. So just move it into place where you think it might need to be, like that. Really easy to line up, no faffing about at all. And then we're going to go in for our mid blue, which I'm going to use here as Balmy Blue. And I'm not going to be too heavy with this. I'm just going to go in with a light hand. If you want to go back and add more colour, you can. It's much more difficult to take colour away. And I am using a small blending brush. You can use the large ones. I just personally favour the small ones, unless I'm doing a really big blend. I just find that easier to use and give me more control. So there we go. There is our Balmy Blue layer. So same as before, lift this up, remove the post-it note tape, and look at that. Isn't that beautiful already? So pretty. Third one, look for the notch again. Put the notch down there, and as before, this will just help you immediately find where you're going to need to layer. And don't these stencils layer up beautifully? So easy to layer up the stencils. As I said, we've got quite a variety in the shop. You can find the link to my online shop in the description box below. And if you look up layering masks, you'll find there's a couple of these floral ones, and there's one for trees, and there's also a lovely background one called Link Together. So do check those out, because I think even if you're not great at colouring and don't enjoy it, this makes colouring super easy, and you can still get that wonderful look without having to be a colouring expert. Okay, so that's all our blues done, our flowers done, and I think that looks absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So I'm going to get rid of my blue blending brush, and we're going to move on to my green. So let's start off number 4, again with a notch, line that notch up, and then there we go. I'm just going to take time just to be absolutely certain that this is exactly where I want it to be, and that looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to take my post-it note tape, and you can see here how many times already it's been reused, but I use this post-it note tape for holding my dies in place when I'm die cutting for the stencils for all sorts. So this is Lemon Lime Twist. I'm just going to go over here. Now, I haven't used this colour a lot since it came out, I have to admit. It was never a favourite of mine at all. But recently, I think as winter has hit and everything is so grey and so dark outside, I've really come to like it. The vibrant limey green reminds me of spring and joy, and I am ready for spring. Totally and utterly ready. Because when I'm filming this project, it is the middle of February, and it is grey, it is gloomy, and it's threatening to snow. So spring feels like a million miles away, but I can't wait. Okay, so last stencil, I'm lining that notch up again, and then post-it note tape, and then the last colour we're going to use is Granny Apple Green, and this is just to give some definition. You could use the same colour again, lemon lime twist, and we just go over with a harder hand, deep in those colours. And there we go. Oopsie daisy. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I really like that. Okay, so let me close this up quickly and get that out of the way. It does have a matching die set, which is this one here. So I'm going to get on and cut this out, and I'll see you back. Okay, so everything is cut out, as you can see. And I put dimensionals on the back. So let's start to assemble our card. This time our base is going to be Pool Party. So it's a standard A6 card base. That's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. Then I've got a piece here of basic white cardstock that measures 14.35 centimetres by 10. And I've actually got two of these. One's going to go on the outside and one will go here on the inside for the insert. So let's put those down. Just like that. Let's do this other one here. Then I have here as well a piece of the Country Woods Designer Series paper. I've just cut this piece down a little bit further than before to 9.5 centimeters by 13.85. But all these measurements will be on the blog post. You can find the link to that in the description box below, as well as the link to all my social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, etc. And you can find the links there. So I would love it if you could follow me on Instagram, especially. It would be really helpful. So let's stick that down there. On my original, I just used the Designer Series paper. I didn't have the white border, but this time I decided to go for that. Then I'm just going to stick down a flower here. Just like this. This is a very tonal card as opposed to before. Before I felt it picked up the pink. I used the pink, but it picked up the pink in the wood here. And this time I'm just going straight for the blue. I'm not happy with that. Let's go for a different. Try again. Yeah, that's better. Isn't that pretty? I love it. So now all we need is a sentiment. And for that I'm going to use these Greetings for All ephemera pack. And you could use they've got black on white or white on black. And I'm going to go again for the white on black. And have a look what I've got here. I've got happy birthday, congratulations, happy holidays, sending hugs to the grad. I think I'm going to go this time for congratulations. So there we go. So I am just going to, you could pop this up, I'm not going to. I'm just going to stick this down with a bit of glue. So I'm just going to go for there. Congratulations. Isn't that lovely? So pretty. Okay. And I've just realised what I've done. Look at that. My card's going to open like this, so it's upside down. You're not the only who. Hands up. I'm going to just try and fix it while I'm on camera. Hands up who's made that mistake. I can't be the only one. Now you can see how well our Tombow holds things, because it really is a struggle to lift this. But lift it we will. I'm just going slowly so I can take my time to not totally destroy my card. I know in the States you can use some or other glue be gone or whatever it is, but I don't have that here in the UK. Alright, we've made a pig's breakfast out of that, but as you can see it is totally salvageable. So a nice lot of glue on the back again. I'm going to leave this in here so you can see we all make boo-boos. It's not the end of the world. I could have just stuck this to another card base, but I'm just going to use the same one and it is going to be totally fine and no one will be any the wiser about what a boo-boo we made. I'll just give this a really good press down. There we go. And no one is going to be any the wiser. I'll just put a bit more glue here. Come on, glue, work. There we go. There we go. And no one is any the wiser about what happened. So, finishing touches. I've got some of these Petal Pink and Pretty Peacock gems. I think I'm actually going to use this time the Pretty Peacock gems. I know we haven't used Pretty Peacock at the background, but I still think they go really well. And I'm just going to scatter a few around. One, two, three, four, five. I'm going to go for an odd number. 6, 7. There we go. So there you've got your two versions, the pink and the blue. You can let me know which you prefer. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.